Hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, real estate family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Sony's Real Estate Connection and Hot Topic, all things real estate on this channel. So glad that you could join in with me on today. Today, I am sharing with you an article that was posted on the WREnews.com website. I actually received an email notification regarding this article, and I wanted to share it with you and get some thoughts, feedback, comments on it. The article is titled "Real Estate Investor Sentenced to Probation for Role in $165 million Mortgage Fraud." And so again, it was posted on the WREnews.com site, and it's regarding a real estate investor who committed mortgage fraud in the amount of was sentenced to probation for $165 million mortgage fraud. So the real estate investor was sentenced to 5 years probation, according to the article, in his role for a $165 million fraud scheme involving multifamily and commercial mortgage loans that were made between the years of 2018 and 2020. And so the real estate investor named as Mr. Drillman, looks like he set up a couple of different LLCs in two different states. And so the first transaction occurred in Cincinnati, Ohio, under an LLC where they purchased commercial properties in Troy, Michigan. And so in March of 2019, there was a property that was acquired for $70 million. And it says, the article said that they presented a stolen identity to the lender and also to Fannie Mae with a purchase sales contract of $95.85 million along with other fraudulent documents. So they actually did two closings. The first closing, the article says, was the actual true amount of $70 million. And then the second closing was a fraudulent amount of $95.85 million. And these fraudulent documents were presented to the lender and they closed. And that was in 2019 in the state of Ohio. The second fraudulent transaction took place in September of 2020 in Michigan, Troy, Michigan, where they acquired a property for $42 million. Mr. Drillman and his co-conspirators, again, provided fraudulent documents for the purchase of those properties. And so again, here again, they did two closings. The first closing, the article says, was for the true actual amount of $42.7 million. And then the second closing was for the fraudulent amount of $70 million. And again, fraudulent documents were presented to the mortgage lender, along with fake IDs or fraudulent identification documents. So a couple of years later, it caught up with him. He went to court, and in December of 2023, Mr. Drillman pled guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, which affected the financial institution. And then it was reported that the judge in this case, U.S. District Court Judge Robert Kirch, gave Mr. Drillman 5 years in prison, but he gave him 5 years probation due to Mr. Drillman's cooperation with the investigators, his show of remorse, and poor health. The judge also said that, or it was cited in the article, that the judge's determination that Drillman was less culpable than his co-conspirators. The judge also stipulated that Mr. Drillman paid $250,000 fine, and he is to abide by special conditions, including drug and alcohol tests and other certain business and financial disclosures, end quote, according to the article. So what do you think, family? Do you think this is a light sentencing for this white-collar crime? There's some comments at the end of the article, which looks like it's saying, a lot of people are saying that he just kind of got they're indicating that he kind of got a slap on the wrist for this. A lot of people are saying that he should have went to jail. He should have been put in jail with the regular criminals. Someone said with the regular criminals. And so, yeah, a lot of people are saying that he got off too easy, that the judge was too light, the judge was too easy on him, that he shouldn't have just got probation, but he should have went to jail, or he should have got some other sanctions, levied against him, or some other punishments. Do you think that the punishment fit the crime, or do you think it was too light? A lot of people in the comments here are saying that he got off too light for this white collar crime. What do you think? And it also raises the question: well, where did the money go? There was another comment at the bottom here that said, sounds like he had a better lawyer than some of the others. And so, we can assume that, yeah, a lot of the money went towards lawyer fees, because he had to pay lawyers to get this really light sentencing if you only got probation for this white collar crime. But again, a lot of people are saying he should have went to jail. He should have did more time. The judge was too light. That's what the comments are saying. So what do you think? Think it was too light of a punishment? Who knows? And where did all the money go? Kind of raises the question, because this didn't catch up with him for a few years. These transactions took place in 2018 through 2020, and it took a couple of years for them to catch up with him and actually go to court. And then he pled guilty in 2023 and got sentencing on these two crimes. So it kind of makes you wonder: is he just riding off in the sunset with this sentencing? What do you think? I know there's some comments here. There's some people, folks, and it brings up the question, that there are a lot of honest, hardworking people, hardworking individuals that are just trying to get a piece of the pie. They just want to buy their first home. They're just trying to buy their first piece of real estate, and they're doing everything right. They're not committing fraud. They're not committing identity theft and submitting fraudulent documents. They're just trying to buy a house, or trying to buy a real estate property, and they can't even get a $50,000 or $100,000 loan to do that. And they're trying to do everything right. Some people are living paycheck to paycheck, and they're just trying to do the right thing. They're trying to do everything right, trying to do everything honest. They live an honest, decent life, and they can't even get $100,000 or whatever, $200,000 to buy a house, or to invest in their first real estate property, or to maybe expand their real estate portfolio, whatever the case may be. And here you have guys like this who are committing major, fraudulent events, committing white collar crimes and they're getting loans for millions and millions of dollars, several million dollars, and they're getting away with it. They're getting loans for 60, 70 million, 90, 85 million, and they go and close on it. Now, mind you, of course, it caught up with them a few years later, but where did all the money go, right? And here you have decent people who are just doing everything honestly and doing everything by the book, and they can't even get a couple of dollars just to get a nice, decent home, or get a piece of real estate to try to help fund their retirement, or help build a legacy for their children and their families and whatnot, and help other people in their communities. So what say you? Do you think this white collar criminal got a slap on the wrist, or do you think he should have gotten a harsher judgment or a harsher sentencing for this white collar crime, or does it not even matter? What are your thoughts, family? What do you think? Leave a comment, feedback, thoughts. Love to hear from you. Love to hear what you think about this particular article that's up for discussion. And one last thought I would have on this with regards to the LLCs. A lot of times, real estate investors will purchase properties and put properties into LLCs. We deal with a lot of out-of-state investors who buy properties, all over the country, all over the state, and when they acquire those properties, they put them in different LLCs, and sometimes it's hard to track down who the actual owner is. We find that a lot. Sometimes when we're trying to find who the actual owner is, it's very difficult to find, because there's various layers of communication, layers of contact, and things of that nature that makes it difficult to find the actual owner. And sometimes that's the whole point of it, right? You put your property in an LLC because you don't want your personal information, or you want to protect your personal assets and all of your personal financial dealings. So you try to separate that investment from your personal. And so a lot of times when we're trying to get in touch with someone concerning a particular property, it's very challenging. It's difficult. Sometimes there's incorrect information that's registered with the property or with the local municipality. And as an out-of-state investor, if they're investing out of state, they're supposed to have a local registered agent or a property manager or someone that's managing the property, or someone that's going to be in charge of that property locally, so that if there are issues with the property, such as neighbor complaints, or the city is trying to get in touch with that owner, or the municipality is trying to get in touch with that owner, they're supposed to have a local registered agent or someone that people can reach out to. And sometimes that's hard to do if you don't have correct information. You don't have a valid or a good working phone number. You don't have the correct contact person on there, and then you just have a property that's sitting here that maybe it's a nuisance property, or maybe there's other issues going on, and you have no one to reach out to or no one that you can contact. So that becomes an issue. That becomes a concern, especially if you have an absentee landlord, or the property is just it's a nuisance, and there's poor management. There's not being maintained. Whatever the case may be, sometimes the LLCs are good. Sometimes they're not so good. Sometimes they don't serve the purpose that they're intended to serve. So that's a whole other layer of challenges that we face in this industry when you're dealing with LLCs for real estate properties and real estate investing. Hopefully you guys are all doing the right things, and doing the right things in the proper manner, and having if you're putting them in an LLC, then hopefully they're being managed and maintained properly, and you're a good, responsible landlord and property owner. So again, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts and feedback concerning this particular article in this story. It's very interesting. Popped up in my email blast today, and just thought I would share it with you for your reading and listening and hearing pleasure. And on that note, that will conclude the discussion for today. That'll bring this to a close. And so I hope that you enjoyed the information and found it to be useful and interesting. And as always, I want to thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Sonia's Real Estate Connection and Hot Topics. And of course, I like to provide the source for the information today. It came from the WREnews.com, WREnews.com. And of course, it's always a pleasure to serve the listening audience in this capacity. And thank you again for tuning into the show. Until we meet again, make it a great day, and may you always be safe, healthy, and be well. God bless.